A very good morning. Today is July 21st, 2020. In this video, we'll be having a glance on today's headlines of newspaper and also editorial discussion. Let's get started. UK vaccine prompts protective immune response in early test. Oxford University trials that began in April shows response lasted for at least 2 months. Aims to start phase 1 testing of Covaxin, major breakthrough. The COVID-19 Oxford University experiment COVID-19 vaccine has been shown to prompt a positive immune response among the participants who took the shot. Researchers began testing the vaccine candidate in April in many of around 1077 participants. It used a modified virus known to cause infections in chimpanzee and genetic information contained in SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. This is regarding the clinical trials and testing by the Oxford University regarding the coronavirus vaccine. Gehlot launches another attack on Sachin Pilot. CM alleges deputy wanted to form third front in Rajasthan. This is political scenario of Rajasthan. Expand panel probing Dubey death. Supreme Court tells UP include former judge and ex-DGP. This is regarding the killing of Vikas Dubey, who is a gangster in UP. Recently he was encountered by the Pradesh police. 6 months later, MHA yet to frame rules on CAA. House panel to seek status report. More than 6 months after the Citizenship Amendment Act, that is CAA 2019, was passed in Parliament, the Ministry of Home Affairs is yet to frame the rules or inform Parliament about the delay in doing so. Without rules being notified, the Act cannot come into force or to be implemented. Less than 1000 new COVID-19 cases in Delhi. Only 11,470 tests conducted in the past 24 hours, the lowest in July so far. No postal ballot for those above 65 due to the logistics. Offer to support poor in for TN tribal girl. Offer to support poor in for TN tribal girl. VIT offers her free undergraduate education. Others promise aid of books and expenses. The cascade of scholarship is coming away for the 17-year-old Chi Devyani, the student from a nomadic tribe of near Madurai, who topped her school in class 12 board examination. This is a good move and a great offer because she topped the class 12 examinations. Rio restores ECA quota admissions. A varsity administration's move come after several pleas to review its decision. A certificate dating back in May 2017 was considered for this purpose. Supreme Court extend protection from arrest to journalist Dua in sedition case. He had appealed to the court to stay proceedings in case. High Court asked Bar Council to treat plea on data safety as representation. Petition seeks formation of expert committee to make rules. A Gout told to rely to Bachpan Bachao Andolan's plea. Petitions seek direction to carry out recording of statements of rescued children. I want to see schools as decentralized institutions. Sisoda wants heads of schools to take the charge. Kejriwal Gout gets notice or advertisement on class 12 result. Supreme Court panel seeks explanation from Gout within 60 days. Walk border team to assess damage to mosque's dome. The structure was damaged on Sunday due to heavy rain and lightning in Delhi. Compensate those who hit by rain. BJP asks Kejriwal. Damage exposed Gout's preparation. This BJP was shifted to private hospital for plasma therapy. My wife called up the chief minister to move me out of the hospital, Gout hospital, treatment, says the health minister. This is an interview by Satyendra Jain at his office, and this is a statement given by him. Nurse tests positive after recovering from COVID-19. DJ held for stabbing mother to death. Accused is a drug addict and seems to be upset, says the police. A 22-year-old youth, disc jockey, has been arrested for allegedly killing his mother at their residence in South Delhi on Monday, said the police. This is regarding a 22-year-old killed his mother. A new parliament building is prudent. CPWD tells Supreme Court total seats are likely to increase after 2026. High Court declines to intend plea to demolish slum cluster. Interviews for post of district president over, says BJP. Man arrested for killing neighbor after altercation over sharing liquor. Accused nabbed during a search at the law along Rajpath. Congress pays homage to Sheila Dikshit regarding the rights. High Court reserves verdict on Irshad Jahan's plea. She had challenged more time for the probe. Two brothers held for trying to extort rupees 2 crores. They suffered huge loss in lockdown. ASI attacked by the robbers on highway in Alipur. Both the accused arrested, says police. Muzaffarpur shelter home case regarding Brajesh Thakur challenges the verdict. He says the trial court conducted hearing in a hurried manner. Farmer organizations demand withdrawal of agri ordinances. They take out tractor march in Haryana, Punjab to protest against the centre moves. Badal not concerned about the farmers, alleges Punjab CM. He is disconnected from the ground situation, says Amarinder. Dhanka's big test will be against Huda's. New Haryana BJP chief has his quick task cut off. A win over the Jats in the state. This is the political situation. Statement by the political leaders of Haryana. A release Kafel campaign takes Twitter by the storm. Doctor held under NSA by the UP government. A green panel pulls up the center. Smuggling racket, that is Army Jawan, arrested. Financial incentives for the doctors in Odisha. State gouts a bid to boost morale of medical staff working in COVID-19 hospital. A bed shortage crisis in Pune to be resolved soon, says the collector. Despite rise in cases, district fatality rate down to 2.6%. Now Sangil announces lockdown from July 22nd. Shasta in Pune division likely to follow the suit. All women panel to look into security at CCCs. A move comes after rape at Panvel Center. Following the rape of COVID care center CCC in Panvel last week in Mumbai, the municipal corporation has formed a 7-member all-women committee to look into the safety matters. BMC bats for one ward, one Ganpati concept. Civic body asks mandals for the support. First 2 units start operation at JNPT assets. This is the editorial page. The first article is more than a crisis, a challenge, a chance to rebuild the healthcare. This is regarding the coronavirus, how to rebuild the healthcare system in this pandemic situation. Innovations in managing the COVID-19 pandemic can help India revolutionize care delivery and related outcomes. World Health Organization Dr. Tedros said that the populated Dharawai slum in containing the COVID-19 pandemic in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Bangalore are among India's major metropolitan cities and also the current foci of the pandemic within the country. The points to both the speed and the scale of epidemic moving with densely populated areas, as well as success in the way sustained municipal efforts and community participation can together blunt the spread of the virus. Some of the opportunities to act is on the previous days, nearly around 100 days after the 14 hours, the overall cases have moved steadily past the million mark in India, is now third in the global case standing. Despite the positions and the daily assertions of the new infections are upwards of around 30,000 in the past few days, the disturbances or the distribution of the cases also present itself as the world's biggest opportunity to intervene and the blunt in the global toll of the pandemic. Taken the given numbers of the face values, there is also a rough average that 250 cases per district and about 700 districts. Many of these districts may be closer to have no cases, while others may be significantly higher in this incident. So the key steps to on a ground level is the first step towards this would to disaggregate the COVID-19 tracking mechanism and the national level tables and graphs that are updated daily. Instead, there should be a 733 district level versions where each one is updated and reported on the daily basis at the district level. State and nation summaries are important but as not critical, and ensuring the accuracy and timelessness of district level tracking. The first output of such disaggregation will be to see with a great relief the number and district of extremely small and incident numbers. In order that they retain their low incidence status, such districts should be supported with all comprehensive testing kits and contact tracing how and now. The earlier scheme is disengaging districts of green, yellow and red zones. This is regarding how to test on the ground level so that everyone will be benefited. And also the author of this article says that there is one has to look at the recent insights into using the saliva at the start point for testing rather than using a nasopharyngeal swab for swamping. And there is also a chance for biotech, besides providing an opportunity in the healthcare sector for biomedical spares for young minds. The emphasis should also be on to encourage innovators and entrepreneurs to bring out and scale up their products without making compromises on the standards of rigor of evidence needed for regulatory and manufacturing approval. India is a pharmacy to the world, and with the coordinated effort, the COVID-19 crisis can provide the equivalent for India's biotech and biopharmaceutical enterprises. So India's general healthcare spending has been far below optimal, but if innovations to help manage the current crisis are suitably capitalized on, they can enable India to move far ahead in healthcare delivery and related outcomes. COVID-19 can be both crisis as an opportunity for healthcare reform, as well as to understand the interplay of health outcomes with social and economic support investments or interventions and limitations of the law enforcement in managing the epidemic. This is regarding the crisis and a chance to rebuild the healthcare system in this pandemic. And innovations of managing COVID-19 pandemic can help India revolutionize care delivery and related outcome. Then next article is regarding the primary schools reopening. There is no right answer when to reopen. The course of the COVID-19 pandemic remains so far from predictable, posing for the central government the dilemma of salvaging the part of the school academic year while avoiding a fresh wave of infection. The school reopening questions has been now resolved satisfactorily on other parts of the world, and measures by many countries have been experimental. Yet policymakers are aware of severe impacts of the education process and the loss of students. The alternative and remote online learning opportunities is skewed by the economic status and geography. In India, the many divides as digital, rural, urban, rich, poor have painfully come out to the fore between the regions of even within the state. There are instances for children left behind without computer access, internet connectivity and TV sets, and even electricity. The issue of reopening schools in calibrated manner must therefore be addressed soon, but based mainly on epidemiological evidences. It is understandable that the present confused situation is 21 out of 36 states, union territories are worst affected. Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu have not taken a view yet on when to permit the classes. Regarding how and when they are going to reopen the schools in this pandemic situation, there is still ambiguity, and most of the parts of the state in the country are not yet prepared and how to open, but different countries have their own strategy how to tackle this pandemic situation and revamp the economy, and also implement the norms for reopening of schools, colleges and things like that. The next article is on the privatization issues of Indian Railways. What could be the worst affected area is the planned privatization on some services of Indian Railways could impact maintenance and also operation and welfare. The Indian Railways is a lifeline of India with its vast network across the length and breadth of India. It is not just a mere transporter to the passengers and goods, but also social welfare organization. The objective of initiative was for the privatization to introduce modern technology rolling stock with reduced maintenance, reduce transit time, boost job creation, provide enhanced safety, provide world-class travel experience to the passengers, also reduce the demand supply deficit in the passenger transport sector. But this step which will lead to dual control and split responsibility, resulting in higher fares, depriving the common man to travel by these trains, and also repercussions in the terms of maintenance and operations. So the United Kingdom and Japan have privatized the railway system completely and not partially, but most countries have retained their rail network for the public convenience. In India, the selection of the private parties using the tendering process is now underway, and process the two-stage, that is competitive bidding, while the shortlisting will be based on financial capacity, while with sharing of the gross revenue. The selected parties can fix fares by themselves. These parties have to be paid a fixed haulage charges, energy charges, and based on the actual consumption, and share the gross revenue through bidding process. The main criteria and procedure of the coaches by the concession is from the rakes of 16 coach each, with the maintenance of 10 major stations from where the train will operate and the destinations. The maintenance existing depots and yard faculties or the facilities of different stations will now be made of use, but this will result in conflict as the daily exercise on whether the adequate facility is not available. The concentrates have to invest in creating a required facilities. The project entails around a total of investing 30,000 crore rupees by the private enterprises. So what the fixing responsibility over here is, there is no proper maintenance section because if the private players are involved in Indian Railways, so there is an additional burden by the railways. So that is a kind of a glitch, or the impact of Indian Railways to privatization is another big wrong track reform, says the authors of this article, who are the senior engineers of Indian Railways. The next article is a rule of mob, that is regarding the lynchings. Lynching point to break down the rule of law in several states. The lynching of the three people alleged cattle thieves suspected to be Bangladeshi nationals in southern Assam in July 18th in the recent weeks was in the area. This is regarding the lynching activities, and there should be a rule for these activities because the Bangladesh cattle persons have been lynched by the Assamese residents, and this is regarding the issue. This article is focused upon what are the rules to be brought out and what are the existing rules to be modified. The meaning of Azan at Hagia Sophia, this is pronounced as Hagia Sophia, he is silent here. It is a milestone in the retreat of secular nationalism that are seeing across the world. This is regarding the recent past regarding the Hagia Sophia. In this brief history is that it was a church, and it was a museum, and it was a mosque in the recent years. So this is regarding why this, what is the this recently this Hagia Sophia has been declared as a museum by the Turkish president Erdogan, and this article focuses upon what is the stats, present, past, and also what could be the future is penned by this author Vivek. Template to manage temple. The Supreme Court order on Padmanabha Swami temple suggests to template for administrative probity and efficiency. This is the verdict statement from the Padmanabha temple, and how the things went, and who has given the authority, and one cluster of group of the family has been given authority to hold the concessions Padmanabha Swami temple. Community canteens 2.0, they can provide food security, and migrant workers create jobs and help save fiscal resources. In the recent address to the nation, Prime Minister announced the 3-month extension to the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. The government would provide 5 kg of grains and 1 kg of to the monthly around 800 million beneficiaries across the country. Alongside the highlighted implementation of the One Nation One Ration scheme for the migrant workers, there is a lack of access to the food drove millions of them into their national villages during the lockdown period. While these measures are welcome, they may fall short for reaching all the sections of this vulnerable population. Most migrant workers do not live with families. Many do not cook their meal. Instead, a significant number rely on roadside vendors and dabas. Without access and cooking arrangements of fuel, only subsidized grains are not sufficient solution to ensure nourishment. Neither it would be sufficient to attract them to back the urban areas to access the affordable food and remain on a major concern. Instead, is there a way to ensure safe, nutritious, affordable food and all the urban poor while saving the fiscal resources, creating job and further sustainability of growth? And there should be also a nutritional security and also job growth regarding this fiscal resources. This is a cartoon of the day. This is regarding the Rajasthan government political scenario. One side is BJP, one side it is Congress, and one wing is on BJP, other wing is on Congress, and this is the political scenario in who will win and who will take this fight, means the party, new party. AP test number 3 times that in that of Telangana. AP test numbers 3 times that of Telangana. Andhra Pradesh had added around 40,000 cases, conduct around 33,580 tests. Telangana tests around 11,000. New cases is just 1,198. UK vaccine prompts immune responses. Hyderabad case panel hit by pandemic, aims to start phase 1 testing of Covaxin. Following High Court verdict, Ramesh Kumar calls on AP Governor. COVID-19, Telangana High Court summoned 6 top officials. Our order not implemented, says the bench. Kerala launches another political attack. This is a continued part. LDF meet to take stock on political developments. Gold smuggling case top agenda. Focus will be on strategy for cementing unity among allies. 6 months later, MHA yet to frame new rules on CAA. S4G serves notice to Shekhawat. Union Minister asked to record statements on his alleged role in Rajasthan crisis. India will never be a part of any alien system, says Jayashankar. Global shifts opening spaces for middle power in India. Advani Joshi to depose in Babri case. A special CBI court here on Monday, on July 24th, recording the statements of the former Deputy Prime Minister L.K. Advani in the 1992 Babri Masjid demolition case. The 92-year-old BJP leader's statement under the Section 313 of CRPC will be recorded through video conference. This is regarding the Advani case on Babri Masjid. The statement to be recorded. PM fake strongman image now India's biggest weakness, says the Rahul Gandhi. Dynasty desperate to wash sins in 1962 and weakens India. I have to induct 5 Rafales on July 29. The delivery was delayed by 2 months. Ladakh MP Namgyal made BJP a local unit chief. He is known for his speech on Article 370. This is in New Delhi. Malicious comments, says Omar. I'm curious why Omar was released. The BJP can go to any extent to form a government, says Chhattisgarh CM. His interview. Case fatality rate falls further. The virus had claimed the lives of 104 doctors across the country. Workplace common source for contracting infections, says the study. NIA states seek time to reply to Rao's bail plea. Bharajwaj bail plea hearing adjourned. High Court finds medical report submitted by Baikula jail officials to be ineligible. Iran to continue work with India on Chabahar line, says the railway chief. Turnaround follows meeting with the Indian ambassador in Tehran. This is regarding the Chaba, India and Iran. Warships meet US strike groups. It comes amid high alert on Indian Ocean region due to standoff with China. Indian naval ship with the US strike group near Andaman Nicobar Island on Monday. A tough new e-commerce rules kick in the next week. Time-bound grievance redressal is mandatory, says the Paswan. Trump refuses to commit accepting election results. He repeats remarks he made in 2016 as polls show him lagging behind Biden. UK to suspend extradition treaty with Hong Kong. RAB calls for safeguard to prevent misuse of new security law. Pakistan resumes anti-polio drive. Arab hope to Mars takes off from Japan. UAE space mission is expected to enter the planet's orbiter in February 2021. Cancel debt of developing countries. Anti-debt group issues statement. Kim sacks officials for extortion linked to the project they were assigned to build a hospital. Sri Lanka to research Ravana's aviation routes. Authority issues advertisement seeking the relevant literature from the public. Don't redeem the Taliban, urges Afghanistan. People take to Twitter to denounce the militants warned to regime against negotiation with the group. Amazon urged to bring global insight to help Indian sellers. Supreme Court warns against Asia dues reassessment. SEBI plans to verify margin collections. Affordable housing may not see purchases soon despite incentives. People may be wary of investing in these uncertain times. NFRA sets up advisory committee. NCLT permits restoring 2 firm trucks from the ROC. And that is the end of today's discussion of the Hindu paper and also editorial analysis. If you are new to my channel, I request you all to subscribe and do comment and share. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.